Now, Eugene, did the ruling come to you as a surprise, the acquittal?
Frankly, yes.
You did?
Frankly, yes. And when you read Justice Kwekutewia Kabuafo, he's one of the fine lawyers in the system. For me, I've not read the 126-page ruling. I don't have the strength to do that now. But the few I've read, especially portions of Dr. Justice Akabuafo's ruling, there are 4 fundamental things I think that the ruling stand on. And Dave, it talks about the prosecution stood on, lacked sufficient evidence. He didn't understand why the trial judge, the High Court judge, Justice Kuyasewa, the trial judge called Ato Forson to open defense. It talks about evidence being based on impermissible speculations. Then said that if there's anybody who was supposed to answer for financial loss, it should be someone from the from the health ministry and not the finance ministry. So for me, I was thinking based on why has this trial just went on for 2 years, 7 months? It's a bit curious, but I think that the Attorney General, the learned Attorney General, also have the right to seek a redress at the Supreme Court, which is the last bastion when it comes to such matters and all that. And I think that being a 2-1 decision, you can extrapolate to mean that there's a bit of a lifeline. Yes, a 3-0 majority decision can still be overturned. I mean, we've seen cases where a 7 majority decision has also been overturned by the Supreme Court, which is the highest and the last bastion when it comes to such matters. So for me, it is within the stride. But I was strangely surprised because the ruling was out around 4 p.m. thereabout. The learned Attorney General, who is the leader of the bar, and David may have said this in a public Facebook post, and I've said it on radio.
It was before 4 p.m. actually.
Yes, before 4 p.m. Yeah. But he spoke at 12 on Joy Midday News and used words like perverse against the ruling. And I'm very happy that for the first time, one of the silent groups in Ghana, strangely, the Ghana Bar Association has called him out. David, I've always said this, that we shouldn't take the things we take to our executive and legislature to the court. Dave, if anybody CCing, cheaters, there's improprietyness and all that, the last bastion, the only hope we have is the court. And the leader of the bar shouldn't be describing rulings that he even seeks to challenge as perverse. Dave, when you say perverse means largely that they have an agenda. And for you to extrapolate and say that the ruling kind of an affront to an abuse. Dave, if you're talking about an abuse, it's only in this country that Attorney General will even mount platform to do that. Because the Attorney General has not denied that he has met an accused person who is facing criminal prosecution personally, and even had telephone conversations where he was courting the accused
Jakpa
to say he is ill when he is not. When again, David, having full cognizance of the fact that this same person was nearly charged by the court that he was faking what? Medical report. And the Attorney General had cause to call such person and say that, tell the court you are not sick. So that when I'm back in the jurisdiction, I can prosecute the matter. Dave, is that not abuse? Is that not impropriety?
That is why Judicial and Co will tell you that this is not prosecution but persecution.
Dave, I don't believe in that.
Hold on. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Somebody like Judicial would say.
Okay.
He's
a counsel for Ato.
Yes, Ato Forson. And the stance the NDC has taken over the period, especially when we have justices being sworn into the High Court, the Supreme Court, and all that. The NDC has its own stance about these things. I'm wondering what would have happened if the ruling had gone in favor of the Attorney General. What they would have said along the line.
Yesterday I watched the full section when President Mahama and Prof. Nana went to the Central Regional House of Chiefs, and Mahama repeated it again that he doesn't trust the way Akufo-Addo is handling appointments. And yesterday, right after Ato Forson was acquitted and discharged, he rushed to Parliament, and there was also another fiasco which is not beautiful for democracy at all, where justices of the Supreme Court were ready to be vetted, but apparently the minority was not in the known, and it was as if it was being done in secrecy.
It's kind of an ambush of a sort.
When you do all these things, it feeds into the belief people have that you are doing some engineering in the court. And Dave, if you want to vet Supreme Court justices, Dave, give me some time here. See, the convention is that we have 15 Supreme Court justices. The new one believes that the plethora of cases that they have, the dossier of cases that they have, they need about 20 of them. Dave, I'm even told that about 2 or 3 are retiring, so we need to replace them. Dave, if you need to replace them, is that the way you do? And yesterday, Patricia Piaget, the MP for Sokwa, clearly, coach his posture, what the video? Clearly, his posture and his commentary consider that they didn't do the right. David, we are vetting justices of the Supreme Court, not some magistrates. And look at it was not tidy. And when you do that, you give credence to some of these things. But Dave, in as much as I disagree with the Attorney General on some posture, and Dave, I think that he needs to be spoken to. Some of the things and pushing, and even Dave, you see, you released the statement at 1 p.m. The ruling was not out. So on what grounds was the Attorney General calling a ruling by the appeals court as perverse? Dave, anybody should check the meaning of perverse. He should be spoken to.
They felt embarrassed. My own words. I feel that they felt embarrassed because, when, the chairman for the NDC, General Mosquito, held that press conference and showed...
we spoke against it.
We spoke against it and also dropped the tapes and all that. You know what the Deputy Attorney General said at the time? Alfred Yeboah, said, well, when journalists were interrogating him, they should wait till they go to court. The evidence that they have against Ato Forson and Jakpa were so huge and so solid. So you realize that then, if this thing goes the way it has, so wherein lies the evidence you had? Wherein lies the case you had? So therefore, they would want to put off a certain posture to say that, well, the justices, erred, and that we're going to a higher court, and that we're going to have more, whatever to present for us to have a better case.
Dave, when the NDC counsels for Edwidji Tamaklu, prosecuting this matter, and they did it with the former Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, when they filed for the mistrial, the trial judge, I don't know why, if you say a while or so, ruled that the case should continue. And in fact, in the ruling, he established that the prosecution, which is the state, has indeed established a cause for Ato Forson and Jakpa to answer. The case goes, they do a review to the appeals court, and the appeals court thinks otherwise, and even says that the person you are charging, in this case Ato Forson, is not liable to answer anything. Rather, the health ministry should answer and not finance. So that's what I'm saying, that there are various schools of thought. But my issue is that, David, we've had instances where this Attorney General has seen favor with the justices of the Supreme Court. You see, the last time when I spoke about the Siedu Nketiat, and I had people calling me that, why am I chastising the NDC? You see, David, we don't need to forget our history. Dave, you remember the 3 court judges, how they were murdered from their homes and all the things that surrounded it. That is why I am particularly always saying, let's protect the judiciary. If Attorney General, and Dave, the reason I'm using, and yesterday when you watch other lawyers, Bobby Banson, Professor Tuya, they were all had strong words for the Attorney General because he is the leader of the bar.
Professor,
Dave, if any lawyer,
professor at the University of Ghana School
Dave,
of Law,
if any lawyer stands anywhere,
supporting the GBA stand.
Yes, yesterday, for example, the last time President Mahama made such commentary that the NDC should also put lawyers take the bench and go. What did we say here? We said that's not right.
We condemned it.
It's not real because he is a former president. So, Dave, if you have the leader of the bar who is trying to describe decisions of the bench as perverse, that is not good enough, and he must be talked to. Because, Dave, you see, listen to me. When people are speaking, I take their words back. Dave, listen to his interview with MFR yesterday. He's so emotionally vested. And, Dave, I am young, but, Dave, I saw the Attorney General Ekufuado. I saw Joe Garte. I saw Betty Moody. Never have I read any trial judge even had cause to tell the Attorney General to recuse himself in a matter.
No wonder MFA asked him whether he has a personal interest in the matter.
And Dave, lastly, on the plea bargaining thing, yesterday, one of the things I said that he's need to publicly explain to us why he's not taking the 1.5 million euros out of the 2.3. He said that because the Big C is not party to the case. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the technicality. But yesterday, Dave, I'm told by 2 lawyers I refer to, Kofi Opare-Hagan and also MK Gaddafi, that there's a possibility for Ghana to still get the money if we amend the charge sheet and bring in the Big C company on the. But Dave, whether Ato Forson will be raped, jailed, whatever, Dave, if a state has lost 2.3 million euros, and the company says, give me the ambulances you say you don't believe in, and let me give you 1.5 million. Dave, if me, I am Attorney General, I will take that money.
Take it, all right.
And Dave, we, no matter what happens at the end of the day, we shouldn't lose that 1.5 million euros. We shouldn't.
It will do a lot of good for this economy of ours. It's our time.